Good afternoon, everyone! Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat ulit. Bago po tayo nag-live, pinuntahan ko po yung Facebook page ng Rex Bookstore. Tapos nakita ko po yung standby slide ng Rex para sa webinar na to. May mga taga Tanawan City, Batangas, STO sa Makati, taga Cebu. So, magandang hapon po buong Pilipinas. From Apari to Polo. At sa buong mundo rin na nanonood po ngayon, okay? Let me introduce myself again. I am Marian Christine P. Patriarca. Ako po ay kilala sa tawag na teacher team, okay? I am a professor in the Education Administration area of the College of Education in UP Diliman. This is the second part of my webinar with the Rex Bookstore in collaboration with the UP College of Education. This webinar's target audience is for teachers and school administrators. But pag meron pong parents na nanonood po ngayon, sit back lang po kayo. Baka po may mapulot po kayong aral. Okay? Before I discuss my topic today, let us review first what we discussed last week in my previous webinar. Di po ba ang mga teachers, before they move on to the next topic, nagre-review po sila ng previous topics para magkaroon po ng continuity. Makita po ng estudyante yung connection ng previous topic to the topic that they're going to discuss that day. Okay? So, ganoon din po tayo. Last week, I discussed on empowering teachers in guiding parents promote safe and protective learning environment in the context of home-based learning. First, I discussed on the importance of encouraging parent engagement. Okay? We discussed this model on parent leadership by the Intercultural Development Research Association, which is a training model for teachers, for parents, on how to become parent leaders. This is vital for school administrators to engage parents in school. This model was guided with the premise that the parents care a lot about the education of their children. Given the proper support, any parent can be a leader to create an excellent learning environment. So, sequence po itong model na ito. Nag-umpisa sa parent as teachers, the first step. Second step is parents as resources to teachers. The third one is parents as decision makers. And the last step or level is parents as trainers. Okay? We also discussed how can teachers naman engage parents. First is by hearing, by listening to their concerns, worries, hopes of the parents. The next one is the use of the sense of touch. We should empathize with parents. We have to validate their feelings and acknowledge their concern that really this school year is challenging due to the new mode of learning. And lastly is the sense of sight. We need to communicate to them that their engagement, okay, is vital for this school year. Next topic we discussed was on keeping communication lines open. We stressed the importance of communication with parents so that they are informed in every step of the way, whatever plans the school is doing for the forthcoming school year, anong modes of learning, anong gagamitin na learning management system. So yun po, lahat po na yun, kailangan po nating ma-communicate sa parents so that they are in the loop with the plans of the school. We also discussed the communication model by Shannon and Weaver. It has 6 elements, namely the sender, the encoder, the channel, the decoder, the receiver. We mentioned that we would like to avoid or limit the noise. Yung nasa gitna po, yung noise, so that our message will be clearly transmitted to the receiver. Ang examples po natin na naibigay sa noise na yan ay pag gumagawa po ng sulat, yung mga wrong spelling, yung mga kulang sa punctuation mark. Kasi po, pag kulang ng punctuation mark, iba po ang ibig sabihin na ng mensahe. Tapos, kunwari, nakikipag-usap po tayo sa telepono or sa cellphone na malapit po sa daan, tapos may mga dumaan pong mga tricycle o motor, di po ba maingay yun? So literal na noise po yun, okay? And the failed internet connection, that's also considered as a noise, okay? In short, this model made us aware that there's a possibility of noise when we communicate. And our goal is to eliminate it. Okay? We further discussed how to communicate with parents. We have to know the best form of communication, whether by email, text messaging, Messenger, Viber, or any other communication applications. We also have to foster a sense of trust, that everything we discuss is kept in strict confidentiality. It is encouraged also to say something positive. For example, during parent-teacher conferences, by starting out with saying something good about their child, if their child is kind, hardworking, ganyan, okay, or determined. So those are positive traits or characteristics of the child that we need to communicate to the parents, and the parents would surely appreciate it, okay? Next one is also we need to listen. Listening makes other people feel valued. We also need to suggest solutions to challenges or issues that the parents are encountering. Also, we do not assume that a parent understood a letter only because he or she received it. So we have to make sure that they understood what the letter is communicating. Wala po dapat gray areas, okay? And lastly, we have to communicate often, and we have to be proactive not only during times when problems arise. We have to make parents feel that they are in the loop of the plans of the school. Okay? And third, we discuss about building positive relationships. We discussed the importance of connection in building relationships. The connection between teachers, students, and parents are very important to foster relationships. Kung may isang mawala sa tatlo po na ito, ay magkakaroon po ng tinatawag na disconnect. Hindi magiging buo itong sistema na ito. Okay? At since circular po ang motion niyan, it means that all the elements are interconnected with each other. Okay? One has an impact to the other. There is an interplay among the three factors. Okay? And we also discussed how to build positive relationships, how the teachers can build positive relationships with the parents. The tips that we gave were they should get to know their students, okay? Since all of the teachers will be handling new set of students for this school year. The second is we can give positive correspondences to the parents through email or text messaging to at least maybe 5 persons a week, okay? And then at the end of the month, for example, ang estudyante mo is 20, so after, or 25, after the end of the month, you were already able to connect with the parents, okay? Third one is be friendly and yet professional. This means that we can be cordial, of course, without crossing the teacher-parent line. And this also means that teachers don't have to be available to the parents 24/7, unless, of course, it is very urgent or emergency cases. Parents also, we also have to acknowledge that teachers also need time for themselves, time for their family, okay? And lastly, I also specified choosing kindness. We have to acknowledge that if parents have complaints to us, teachers, we acknowledge that they are heard, okay? If we made a mistake, we admit it, because parents will not lose the respect towards you if you do that, okay? So now, what I will be talking about is enabling teachers in assisting parents to ensure sustained learner engagement in the home. So sustained learner engagement na po tayo, okay? Di po ba kapag nasa physical classroom, may mga estudyanteng hirap na pong makakonsentrate, hirap na pong makafocus sa maraming factors, pwedeng inaantok, nakatingin sa bintana, distracted na kasi nakitang dumaan yung crush niya, nagdo-drawing, o pinaglalaroan ng ballpen, ganyan. Paano na po kaya pag online learning mode? Hindi naman po pwedeng yung kamay ni teacher physically lalabas sa monitor ng laptop o ng computer o ng tablet para i-redirect yung estudyante na makinig ka sa lecture natin. Di po ba? So, mahirap po yung ganun ngayon, okay? So, kailangan po masustain ang learner engagement dito po sa bagong mode of learning na online. Okay? So, itong webinar na ito, tutulungan natin ang mga teachers kung paano nila matutulungan ang mga magulang, okay? Para engage ang kanilang mga anak sa virtual classroom. Okay? These are the 4 major topics that I'm going to be discussing today. First, we'll talk about learner engagement. The second one is the fourfold engagement. Okay. The third one is the family profile. And the last one is school support for parents. Okay. So for the first topic that I will be discussing is learner engagement. Remember during our review earlier, we discussed parent engagement. Ngayon naman, doon tayo sa estudyante, the learner engagement, okay? Gusto ko po munang pag-usapan kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng learner engagement, okay? This term may sound so simple, pero komplikado po siya, okay? Napakadami pong factors that affects learner engagement, okay? Tinignan po ang synonym ng engage, okay? Kasi pag sinabing engagement, mag-aasawa, hindi po ba? Pag-iisang dibdib. Okay? Ang engagement, okay, is to participate. Okay? To take part in. You become involved. Okay? So yun po yung engagement. So ibig sabihin ng learning engagement is kung paano mag-participate, how the student become involved, okay? How the student will be able to take part in the discussion in the online mode of learning. Okay. I'd like to share with you first a very famous quote by one of the founding fathers of the United States, Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. So sinasabi nito na para matuto ang isang tao, kailangan mo siyang isali. Hindi lang dapat siya nanonood o nakikinig. The person should be an active participant, not just a passive observer. Para maintindihan natin kung paano kaimportante ang konsepto ng learner engagement, there are numerous frameworks in this topic. Napakadami po ng student engagement or learner engagement na frameworks, okay? However, I chose 3 that are applicable in the context of our new mode of online learning, okay? The first one I'd like to discuss with you is a student engagement framework developed by the University of South Australia. Ito po siya. Okay? This was initially a project whose purpose were to have a better understanding on what matters to the students, the outcomes they wish to have, and ways to enhance and enrich student experience. Okay? Lumabas po sa kanilang project na may 5 determinants or indicators ng student engagement framework. Ito yung students as collaborators, students at the center, okay? Personalized student experience, inclusive and collaborative engagement strategies, and experience that enables success, okay? The participants, okay, during the project consultation were not only students, Kasama po dyan ang alumni, staff, and industry partners. So buo po ang participants na kinuha nila para ma-develop ang framework na ito. Okay? The outcomes of this project was that the students feel more valued, that they felt the school values them as part of the community and not just a number in the enrollment. Okay? Ang ganda po, di po ba? Naramdaman po ng mga estudyante pagkatapos ng proyektong ito na ginawa ng University of South Australia kung gaano sila kaimportante, kung gaano binibigyan ng kahalagahan ang pagiging estudyante nila sa kanilang eskwelahan. Okay? So they feel more valued. The next slide I'm going to show you are the dimensions of student engagement by Fredericks, Blumenfeld, and Paris. Okay? Isa na naman po itong journal article. They stated that when we look at engagement, it should be flexible, adaptable to environmental change. Okay? So hindi po, wala pong perfect formula for engagement, in short. Okay? The engagement must adapt to the changing environment. Okay? They identified 3 primary components of learner engagement for in-person and online settings, which has to be viewed in a multifaceted way to include behavioral, emotional, cognitive. In other words, behavioral, emotional, cognitive affects student engagement. Okay? We know that learners are engaged if they exhibit participation, persistence, determination, and conduct. Okay? Ito po yung sa behavioral na part. Okay? Ang participation sa extracurricular activities, okay, kasama po sa behavioral na to, okay, kung ano ang pag-uugali ng estudyante tungo sa bagong mode of delivery ng online, okay, kasama din po sa behavioral, okay, kung gaano siya kadeterminadong tapusin ang mga asignatura, kasama po lahat dito sa behavioral dimension, okay. Next is the emotional, okay? What is it about? These are reactions to the learning environment. The classmates and teachers, yung self-concept po ng estudyante, as well as their sense of belonging, okay? Kaakibat din dito ay ang feeling of being part of the community ng estudyante at ang tingin niya sa sarili niya bilang miyembro ng komunidad na yon. Okay? The community I'm referring to here is the virtual school community that we are about to have, okay, for this coming school year. Okay? Next, lastly, is the cognitive part or dimension. Cognitive means comprehension and learning strategies. Okay? In other words, we know that learners are engaged if they exhibit behaviors, thinking processes, or emotions that indicate they are connecting with the subject, okay, with the teacher and with each other. Okay? So yung tatlo po na yon, importante po yon sa dimensions of student engagement. Okay? This next slide is the last student engagement framework that I'm going to present, okay? This was developed by Bond and Berenlier from a journal article on facilitating student engagement framework through educational technology in the K-12 classroom. So very timely, di po ba, itong framework na ito sa atin? Okay? It presents a bioecological, yung tawag nila, bioecological framework of student engagement that explicitly includes technology as one influential factor. Sinasabi sa framework na ito na ang technology-enhanced learning environment na kung saan ang estudyante, and nandyan po sa gitna, okay, ay naapektuhan ng mga elemento sa kanyang paligid ng kanyang microsystem. Na ito ay ang technology, activities, environment, peers, and teacher. Okay? Relating to this environment is the student engagement, okay? Which I discussed earlier, which is the affective or emotional, behavioral, and cognitive, okay? The interconnectedness and interplay shows how educational technology influences student engagement, okay? This only means that technology-enhanced learning environment and student engagement affect the short-term outcomes and long-term outcomes, both in academic and social aspects. Okay? Ang ganda, di po ba? Kaya po niya tinawag na bioecological framework kasi lahat po ng aspeto ay na-consider niya, hindi lang sa estudyante. Okay? Gamit ang sa konteksto ng teknolohiya. Okay? To end this part of the discussion, okay, this reverberates loudly. The true strength in our classroom lies in the collaboration of learners, not in the knowledge of one expert. Okay? So the student and teachers are collaborators now. The teacher just facilitates the discussion. Okay? So ito po yung pagbabago na role na or bagong dynamics na sa classroom. Okay? That you have to have the student engaged in the class. Okay. The next topic that I'm going to discuss is the fourfold engagement framework. Okay. Earlier, we discussed the student engagement framework. Ngayon naman, may iba ng elemento or constructs na kasama. Kaya po tinatawag na fourfold engagement framework. This is the Adolescent Community Engagement Framework developed by Borup, West, Graham, and Davis sa kanilang journal article on a framework for research on adolescent online learning. So tamang-tama po ulit ang konteksto ng framework na to sa ating mode of delivery na online. Okay? Ito po siya. Nakikita po natin kaya po fourfold kasi nandiyan ang student engagement, teacher engagement, parent engagement, at peer engagement. Okay? This small triangle in the middle is the area of the student engagement. Okay? They hypothesize that as teacher, parent, peer engagement increases or widens, student engagement will likely increase until it fills the area indicated by the broken line. Ayan, lumawak siya. Okay? Sinasabi that the full engagement in learning activities require also not just the engagement of the teacher, parent, and peer, but also requires affective, behavioral, and cognitive engagement, which they have termed as the ABCs of student engagement. Okay? Ang ganda, di po ba? Na dati, maliit lang yung triangle in the middle kung estudyante lang engaged. Okay? Pero habang lumalawak yung engagement, habang nai-involve yung teacher, yung parent, yung peer, lumalaki yung triangle, yung area ng triangle kung saan engaged yung estudyante. Okay. First, I will discuss about parent engagement. However, okay, I will briefly discuss on this because another webinar topic will be for this session by Professor Nerissa Zara, the same speaker who did the webinar last Monday, okay? But briefly, I'll just have to discuss this. So, ano yung parent engagement, okay? Parent engagement, of course, can positively impact student engagement by facilitating instruction through nurturing, monitoring, motivating, and volunteering, okay? Next one, in organizing students' environment, parents should help students organize their physical environment and time, okay? As teachers, we should reiterate to parents to set a dedicated space at home for home-based learning as well as make a daily routine, okay? Yung space at home, hindi po kailangan ng estudyante ng sarili niyang kwarto. Kung kunwari, nakatira lang po kayo sa isang maliit na bahay or sa condo, hindi po niya kailangan ng kwarto for that, for learning. Okay? Ang kailangan lang po niya area, space, espasyo lang po para yun ang dedicated space niya for studying. Okay? Kasama po kasi sa routine yun. Okay? Na pag pupunta na siya sa space na yon, alam na niya, mag-aaral na siya. Okay? So may mindset po na nagaganap. And the last one is instructing students or their children. Okay? Parents can engage students in a variety of instructional activities, okay? Teachers can also improve the effectiveness of parents' instructional activities by making educational resources available to them. Okay. Next is peer engagement o yung kanilang mga kaklase o kaibigan. But peers do not typically share the parents' and teachers' responsibilities for helping improve other students' engagement, okay? Hindi po nila trabaho yon, okay? However, they can have an impact on student engagement through collaboration as well as motivation. So yun po yung role ng peer engagement, okay? Peers, as I mentioned earlier, do not typically share the parents and teachers' responsibilities, okay? However, they can impact student engagement through instructing and collaborating, as well as motivating, okay? Yung instructing and collaborating, this is similar to involvement of parents and teachers. Ang tinatawag po dito ng instructing and collaborating in the aspect of peer management yung tinatawag na peer tutoring. Di po ba? May mga eskwelahan na ina-adapt ang peer tutoring. Okay? Kasama po dito yon sa peer engagement. Okay? Sa motivating naman, okay, the peers motivate or bibigay ng lakas ng loob, pep talk sa kanilang mga kaklase kung ang mga topic na dinidiscuss na nila ay mga complicated na. Okay? So that's one. The next one is, and most importantly, is the teacher engagement. Okay? This already completes the adolescent community engagement framework. For the teacher engagement, okay, teacher engagement is the ability to positively impact, okay, student engagement through the three elements. The first element is facilitating interaction. Okay? Yung pagpa-facilitate ng interaction dito ay pag-nurture ng student relationships in a safe environment, in a safe environment. Okay? Ang safe environment na sinasabi dito sinisigurado na ang estudyante kapag nagbigay ng kanyang opinion sa isang bagay, hindi po siya ma-judge, okay? Tatanggapin po natin 'yon, okay? And the virtual classroom is safe in such a way that we agree to disagree. Okay? We are open to different opinions. Kasi if we are open to different opinions, lalo pong lumalawak ang diskusyon natin. Mas na-engage ang mga estudyante. At mas nararamdaman nila na, uy, importante pala ang aking opinion. Okay? Teachers also monitor and motivate student engagement. Okay? And of course, they facilitate discourse. Kaya po ng sinabi ko kanina, the teachers become facilitators of learning. Okay? Hindi na po lang sila bigay ng mga topics. Okay? Meron din dapat feedback. At open po dapat ang teacher sa feedback. Okay? Para ma-encourage sila to engage in the classroom discussion. Okay? Next one is on organizing and designing materials. Okay? This is the second element in engagement. Okay? Without organizing, okay, the students online will procrastinate. Okay? Ibig sabihin ng procrastinate, i-delay. Okay? Ang mga deadlines, okay, ng kanilang papers, okay? Teachers need to give simple instructions, okay? They have to set deadlines in certain projects, papers, okay? And they also have to consider developmental appropriateness of the topics or the requirements or the projects that they are giving the students, okay? Meaning, pag sinabi mo developmental appropriateness, for example, sa online learning, gaano ba katagal ang attention span ng mga 7 years old kapag online learning? Ganyan. Ilang oras ba sila? Kasi mag-iiba po yan as they get older. So, kailangan alam din po ng teacher yan. At of course, ng school administrators when they design already modules. Okay? So, next one is instructing students. Okay? Ito po talaga ang trabaho ng mga teachers to instruct students. Okay? But they also need to, and while instructing teachers, they also have to facilitate discussions by inviting questions. Okay? And they also give feedback to the students, how they are faring in the projects that they submitted, how they are faring in the papers that they submitted. Okay? Kasi bilang guro, ako po, yung mga estudyante ko po kasi nasa master's saka sa PhD level kasi graduate program po yung area namin. Okay? And it has always been my mantra, personal mantra, that when my students give out take-home exams or papers, I make notes. Nagno-notes ako dun sa sinabit nilang paper and give out my comments and opinions. And I found out that students really appreciate that pala. Okay? Constructive feedback, of course, ramdam nila. So ganun din, lalo na po tayo ngayon sa online learning. Whatever feedback that we can give to our students, we have to, so that they will know that they are on track already, or kung medyo nalilihis na sila, or kung medyo iba na pala ang pagkakaintindi nila sa isang konsepto o sa isang topic. Okay, na tinuturo natin. Okay? Next, before I move on to discuss the teacher engagement part, I'd like to show you these questions on how to engage student. Okay, sample questions lang to. Okay, like, what do you like to do when you are not in school? Okay, what is important to you? Okay, what is your biggest challenge? O, di ba? Ang mga tanong natin ay parang pang mga slam book. Di ba? Yung mga nanonood po dyan mga teachers ng mga 90s, 80s, di ba? Uso po yung slam book. Okay? Ito yung mga tinatanong. What do you wish your teacher knew about you? What do you like about your favorite class? What do you dislike about your worst class? Okay? What do you do well? What is going on in your life? Okay? Itong mga tanong po na ito ay kailangan pong i-expound ang sagot. Okay? These questions are not answerable by yes or no. So for us teachers, to be able to engage our students, okay? At sa mga parent din po na nanonood, maaari din pong ganito ang pagta-term po natin ng ating mga tanong kung gusto po nating malaman ang nasa sa loob ng ating mga anak. Okay? We have to ask open-ended questions. Okay? We will not ask questions that are answerable by yes and no. Kasi hindi po natin nalalaman kung ano talagang nasa isip ng ating mga estudyante at ng ating mga anak. Okay? Yan. So next topic that I will be discussing is on family profile. Okay? As teachers, we have to understand the dynamics in the families of our students so that we can better understand them on how to better help them, okay, knowing their situation. Because knowing that, we are in the best position to assist them. I'd like to add this framework on family influences on student engagement by Bond and Bedenlier, the same proponents of the student engagement framework that I discussed earlier, okay? In the journal article that they published, they discussed several factors on student engagement, okay? Ranging from internal psychosocial influences, okay? Marami yun. Yun nga, isa lang po itong family doon. Yung iba doon, yung curriculum or activity influences, teacher influences, and peer influences. But I will center on the family influences on student engagement, okay? Bilang mga guro or school administrators, maiging malaman po natin kung ano ang nag-iimpluwensya sa pamilya with regard to student engagement in the context of educational technology or online learning. Okay? Para mas maintindihan po natin ng mabuti. Bilang mga guro, kailangan nating malaman, okay, kung ano ang level ng knowledge sa information communications technology ng mga magulang, okay, at miyembro ng pamilya, kung wala po silang magulang, okay, at kung may prior experience na po sila sa ICT, okay, kailangan din po nating malaman yun, okay. Malalaman po itong mga to sa pamamagitan ng survey, okay. Pwede po tayong mag-survey para malaman po itong skills na meron sila at kung meron silang skills previously on this, okay? Malalaman din natin dito kung gaano nila katanggap ang technology, okay? Yung technology acceptance, kung paano nila ine-embrace ang technology sa kanilang buhay araw-araw, okay? May mga tao po kasi na kahit na 60s po sila, napakagaling po gumawa ng presentation sa PowerPoint. Okay? Meron naman pong iba, their 40s, 30s, hindi po gumagamit ng laptop o hindi po marunong mag-print. Okay? So wala po sa edad yon. Ang pag-embrace ng technology, okay? Pwedeng factor po ang age, but that's not the be all and end all of it. Okay? Meron po kasing mga tao na tinatawag na technophobic. Narinig niyo na po ba yon? Yung technophobia, yung may fear or the avoidance of using new technology. Okay? Hindi po ito sa edad ulit. Okay? Kasi nasa pagkatao po yon. Okay? Nasa sa tao na yon kung paano siya mag-adapt sa changing environments. Okay? This information on ICT skills, knowledge, technology acceptance, the prior ICT experience, if the teachers know about this, okay, they can better understand the situation of the students in the home. Okay? This information will guide the teacher to be inclusive in teaching. Okay, next. Susunod na makaka-impluwensya sa estudyante ay ang level of parent education. Okay? This is again in the context of technology in education not in student engagement as a whole. Kasi alam naman po natin that parents need not get master's or even doctorate degrees for their child to have a higher engagement in school. Okay, nasa value system po ng pamilya yon. Okay? Next is on the relationships. The parent-child dynamics, okay, has an influence in student engagement. Okay? Kung paano ang parenting style ninyo sa inyong mga anak, dito yung po yung pumapasok, nakaka-apekto sa relationship nyo bilang mag-ina or mag-ama. Okay? Ano po ba yung klase ng parenting style na alam natin? Okay? Di po ba yung mga classic? Ito yung mga classic na mga styles, yung authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, saka yung uninvolved parenting. Okay? Again, I will not discuss with you in detail these styles because this will warrant a whole series, a whole webinar series by Rex Bookstore. Okay? Pero, gusto ko lang itong pahapyaw na i-discuss kasi importante pong maintindihan po natin lahat ito. Okay? Pero, yun yung mga classic na terms, di po ba? Ngayon, alam niyo po ba, may mga bagong terms na. O baka alam na po ninyo, aware na po kayo dito. For those who are not yet aware, may mga bagong terminolohiya na po ng parenting style. Okay? Una, yung tiger parenting. So when you say tiger, ano siya? Tigre. Okay? Matapang. Okay? Stricto masyado. So may mga ganyang lumalabas na parenting style. Sunod, yung helicopter parenting. Ano naman po ang tawag, ano naman ang ibig sabihin ng helicopter? Pag sinabing helicopter, okay, di ba ang helicopter, they hover? Okay, ganun daw po ang helicopter parenting. The parent hovers dun sa estudyante o dun sa anak niya. Okay? Tapos, doon lang siya, nakatingin lang siya palagi, nag-hover-hover. Okay? Pero, merong tinatawag naman na panghuli, yung lawn mower parenting. Okay? Ano po yung itsura ng lawn mower? Ayan po. Okay? Yan po yung itsura ng lawn mower. Ano po ang trabaho ng lawn mower? Di po ba ang lawn mower tagatanggal ng mga malalaking damo? Okay? They clean the path. Okay? So lilinisin nila yung dadaanan ng mga tao para walang obstacles. Ganun daw po ang lawn mower parents. Tatanggalin na nila lahat ng kanilang nakikinikinitang challenges na haharapin ng kanilang mga anak. Okay? Para pagdaan ng kanilang anak doon sa path na yon, wala nang problema. Kasi sinolve na ni mommy o daddy o ni nanay o ni tatay. Okay? So yon. Yun po yung mga bagong terminolohiya ngayon ng parenting styles. Okay, last of the family influences on student engagement is parental involvement and engagement with learning, okay? We previously discussed already, and I'll reiterate again, that parent involvement is the first step to engagement. Sa previous webinar ko po, na-discuss na po natin kung anong difference ng involvement and engagement, okay? So as teachers, we need to encourage parents to be engaged in the learning of their children, okay? So yung iba po pala na hindi po nakapanood ng part 1 ng aking webinar, baka curious lang po kayo kung ano yon. Pwede po siyang panoorin ulit. Nandun lang po sa videos tab ng Rex Bookstore. Okay? Nakasave po. Ang maganda po sa ginagawa ng Rex Bookstore, sinasave po nila lahat yung mga previous webinars nila para pwede pong balikan o pwede pong panoorin ng mga teachers, parents, or lahat po ng stakeholders or ng community kung kailan po nila gustong panoorin. Okay? So yan. But I'd like to add this concept, okay? Because I deem it necessary for teachers as well as parents to know the learning styles of their child or their student, okay? Yan. May mga researches na may iba-ibang learning styles, but I will present you Howard Gardner's learning style. Okay? Pito po siya. Okay? The first one is visual. You prefer using pictures, images, spatial understanding. The second one is musical or auditory. You prefer using sounds and music. Okay? Verbal. You prefer using words, both in speech and writing. The physical or kinesthetic. You prefer using your body, hands, and sense of touch. Logical or mathematical. You prefer using logic, reasoning, and systems. Social. You prefer to learn in groups or with other people. And solitary, you prefer to work alone or use self-study. Okay? So by knowing the learning style of your child or your student, you can better help them. You can make them more engaged in the virtual classroom. Okay? Ang sinasabi po sa learning style, lahat po tayo meron nito. Okay? And it's also better, or it's also best if we know our learning style. Okay? So that we can have a better self-concept and we better understand ourselves. Ang sinasabi lang din po, may mga ibang estudyante, okay, that pwedeng dalawa ang kanilang learning styles na pareho ang intensity. Yung iba naman, isa. Ganyan. So by knowing this, we can help our students be more engaged. Okay? And the last topic I'll be discussing is school support for parents. Okay? Since all schools, from preschool to traditional school to progressive school, to big school to small school, lahat na po ng klaseng school to special schools, all are adapting the online mode of learning. Okay? To most of us, this is new. Okay? However, merong ibang mga ibang eskwelahan po kasi na mangilan-ngilan na nag-i-infuse na ng online learning sa kanilang teaching delivery. Pero hindi yung full blast like what we're going to do in the coming school year, okay? So as teachers and school administrators, we have to fully support the parents, okay? But how? Okay? How do we do that? How do we support the parents now? Kasi lahat bago sa atin to. Okay? So, the first one is use infographics. Okay? Ito po ang infographics po ay mga impormasyon na may kaakibot na drawing o litrato. Okay? Galing po ang infographics again, galing po ito sa dalawang words na information and graphics. Okay? These are visual representations of data or information. Okay? Remember sa learning style po na napag-usapan natin kanina? Okay? Malaking tulong po ang infographics for those visual learners. Okay? Mas nare-retain po sa isipan nila ang mga impormasyon sa pamamagitan nito. Okay? So paano po ang practical application ng infographics pagdating sa pakikipag-ugnayan o pagsusuporta sa mga parents? Okay? Kunwari, online enrollment sa eskwelahan. Okay? Mas mainam po kung gumamit ng infographics doon sa step by step na kailangang gawin ng mga magulang, okay, para sa online enrollment, para hindi po sila feeling at a lost, okay? Hindi po sila feeling na nagda-doubt sa sarili nila kung tama ba ang ginagawa nila, okay? Pwede po, for example, sa online enrollment, kung ang parents po ay magbabayad using credit card, may pictures po kung ano susunod na mga gagawin, ano yung mga i-click po nilang mga tabs. Kung ang magulang naman po ay magbabayad through online bank transfer, ano po yung kanilang mga gagawin. And kung ang parent po ay magbabayad sa bangko mismo, ano po yung kailang gagawin. Okay? So by using infographics, the parents will be made aware, will better appreciate, okay, the support of the parents to them. Okay? Sunod is upload online videos, okay, in the school's website. So paano ito? Teachers, okay, can make tutorial videos on certain topics so that parents can access it anytime to help their children in their lessons, okay? Syempre, hindi naman po lahat ng topic gagawan ng video ni teacher, di po ba? baka maubos ng oras sa buong araw kaka-edit ng video. At ang hirap po gumawa ng video, lalo na pang editing stages. Napakahirap po niyan, okay? But si teacher pwedeng gumawa ng tutorial video doon sa mga topics na complicated o yung medyo tingin niyang hindi maintindihan agad ng estudyante. Okay? For example, if you're teaching math and your topic is on finding the GCF, okay? Sino yung mga math teachers dyan? Finding the greatest common factor, okay? Gawa ka ng video on it. Kung paano mo itinuro sa estudyante para si mommy o si daddy, si lolo, lola, pwedeng balikan yon at ma-reinforce yon sa kanyang anak. Okay? Or for those schools who are adapting the Singapore math approach, si teacher pwedeng gumawa ng tutorial video on how to use bar models. Okay? So word problems. Ganon. Kasi itong bar models po na ito, nung tayo po ay nag-aaral, hindi po ito tinuro sa atin. So bagong konsepto po ito sa parents din. Okay? Kaya mahirap po din magturo ng isang konsepto na hindi po alam ng mga magulang. So kailangan po natin silang tulungan, okay? Since remember they are our instructional partner at home. Kailangan po natin silang suportahan kasi po kung iaasa natin sa mga magulang pagturo ng ibang konsepto like bar models, baka po maiba ang turo nila sa kanilang mga anak at magkaroon na po ng confusion sa part ng kanilang anak. Okay? So yun po. Upload online videos. Next. Okay? We have to maximize the social media account of your school. Okay? For you to be able to connect with parents. Okay? Almost all parents have an FB account. Lalo na po na may free data na tinatawag, di po ba, sa Facebook. Okay? Gamitin po natin yon. We have to maximize that. Okay? Although, dapat aware din po tayo na kapag nag-post po tayo sa Facebook ng may picture, kapag free data po ang gamit, pag-access sa Facebook, hindi po nababasa yon. Okay? So, if one is posting a picture in Facebook, kailangan po may text explanation sa ilalim nun. Okay? Para mas maintindihan o mas makuha ng parents ang konteksto ng post na yon or ng mensaheng yon. Okay? So for example, pag nag-post din ng infographics, kailangan din po may text na version yon. Okay? Kasi hindi din po natin alam kung paano ina-access ng parents ang Facebook, kung free data ba or sa kanilang data. Okay? Sunod naman is the update online event calendar. Okay? Di po ba ang mga parents napaka-busy? Okay? Lalo na po ngayong work from home na online mode lahat. May mga kakilala nga po ako, may online meetings simula ng alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. 1 oras lang po ang pahinga. Okay? Ang dami po nilang ginagawa, ang dami po nilang meeting. Nagkakaroon na po ang parents o mga teachers din or lahat ng mga nagtatrabaho sa bahay ng tinatawag na meeting fatigue, online meeting fatigue. Okay? So yun, to address that, na kung gaano ka-busy ang mga parents, maganda po na magkaroon ng updated online event calendar, okay? This way, all bases are covered, okay? Para sa pagbibigay ng impormasyon sa mga mahalagang date or deadlines sa mga anak ng mga parents. Okay, wala po silang rason na nakalimutan po nila. Okay, we can do this online, and the school can utilize really the social media account, the school social media account, by including also the event calendars. Okay, para aware yung mga parents na nangyayari sa eskwelahan, kahit na po sobrang busy nila. Okay, so in closing, okay, parang ang bilis ng oras, no? I'd like to share with you this quote on caring, okay, from Beth Moreau. It says, caring about students beyond the boundaries of the classroom is the first step of sparking engagement. So meaning, caring is the first step of sparking engagement. Okay? In my last webinar, I ended my discussion about choosing kindness over being right. Ngayon naman po, it is all about caring for students. Students feel if the care of teachers is authentic or not. Kung galing sa puso o hindi. Okay, so just a recap, to enable teachers to assist parents to ensure a sustained learner engagement, we talked about the concept of engagement, the influences of the family, as well as the school support for parents. So thank you very much in joining me in today's webinar. Okay, maraming salamat muli sa Rex Bookstore at sa Kolehiyo ng Edukasyon sa Universidad ng Pilipinas. Okay? I hope you were able to gain an insight. You were able to learn something from this webinar. Okay? So at this point, I will be answering questions already. If there are, okay? Tingnan ko muna ang aking Viber kasi ito po usapan namin sa Viber magpapadala ng questions. Sandali po. Stop share ko lang. Ayan. Okay. Sandali po. Basa. Okay. Ito na questions. Una, from Jobert Alibanya. Hello. Hello, Jobert. How can we build a strong relationship with the parent if both of them have work? Jobert, nabanggit ko ito sa first webinar about involving parents, okay? Marami po akong tips na binigay doon, okay? Ang sinabi ko, okay, doon sa webinar na yon is we have to listen to them. We have to make them feel that we are partners in this new online mode of learning. And we also have to be persistent, okay? We have to make them realize that this online mode of learning now, hindi lang po teacher ang kailangan, malaki po ang impluwensya o malaki po ang role ngayon ng parents, okay? And this can be addressed, okay? Remember, ang sinabi ko po, the first step to parent engagement is parent involvement. And the first step to parent involvement is make them attend the online parent orientation. So dun po sa orientation na yon, please make them realize that their role now is bigger. Kailangan po partners na tayo, really, ang home at ang school. Okay? Kasi gaya po na sinabi ko kanina, mahirap po, hindi naman po pwedeng lumabas ang kamay ng teacher sa laptop para i-redirect ang isang estudyante doon sa inaaral niya. So malaking role po ang parents ngayon. Okay? So I hope I was able to answer that. Sunod, galing kay Jo Babor. Hi, Jo. What approach should be applied to students whom we can say are hard-headed or not interested to listen throughout the discussion? Ayoko pong isipin actually na may mga estudyanteng matitigas ang ulo. Okay? Kasi ang pagiging matigas ng ulo, may malalim pa pong rason yan. Okay? So we cannot address really superficially the being hard-headedness of the student or yung pagiging pasaway niya. Tama po? Yung hindi niya pakikinig sa classroom. Addressing that, kung paano siya makinig sa classroom or paano hindi siya maging matigas ang ulo, that's just superficial. We have to go to the root cause of the problem kung bakit ganoon po ang behavior ng estudyante. Okay? Remember dun sa discussion ko kanina, kasama po yung behavior doon, behavior engagement. Okay? There are reasons, I'm sure, why the student is acting that way. So we have to get to the root cause of it. Okay? By getting to the root cause of it, hindi lang po natin ma-address ang pagiging hard-headed niya o pagiging pasiway niya. we will also help the student flourish, enhance, and enrich his potential. Okay? Sunod po, galing sa teacher's account. Ang ganda ng pangalan, teacher's account. What strategy can I utilize so that I can encourage my students to raise questions or clarify concepts? Maganda ng teacher. Ang tips po na binigay ko kanina dun sa questions, remember the teacher engagement questions that you can ask the students, yung open-ended po. Yung mga tanong na hindi masasagot ng yes and no. Okay. So ano yung mga questions na natatanong na nasasagot ng yes and no? Naintindihan nyo ba? Students. Sabi niya yes and no. 'Di ba? So yun po yung hindi open-ended. Okay? That's not a question that's meant to engage the students. So paano po natin yun i-restate to make it engaging to the students? Pwede nating itanong na which part of the lesson ang hindi po natin naintindihan. Ganun po. Magsasabi po sila, itong ganito, anong step ang hindi nyo naintindihan? Okay? Itong step ba na ito, itong topic ba na ito, paano natin pa ito ma-apply sa ating buhay? Mga ganyan. So when you ask engaging questions, you also infuse application already in their day-to-day lives. Okay? Maganda po yun. Maganda po na i-practice natin yun. Okay? The application part. Kasi tayo mga teachers, puro konsepto. Di po ba? Again, dun sa first part ng webinar ko last week, I have a slide there about theory and practice. Okay? Theoretical kasi ang dating ng mga ibang teachers. Okay? But we have to infuse practice. We have to make the theory be applicable in our daily lives. Okay? Para mas maengganyo, mas makita ng mga estudyante ang relevance ng kanilang inaaral. Okay? Sunod. Galing kay Paz Salibio San Luis. Okay. What is the ideal time allotted for pre-elementary learners? Because in school, they attended 2 to 3 hours daily with subjects. Daily with 2 subjects. You mean po online? Okay? Tama, no? In the context of online learning ito, not in the face-to-face or physical, no? Meron po akong ibang alam na mga magbubukas na mga preschool na may online. Ang ginagawa po nila just 1 hour. Okay? Maximum na po yon a day. Okay? Maximum na 1 hour a day na synchronous, na sabay-sabay. Okay? Yun po. For pre-elementary, ibig sabihin, or preschool. Okay? So, ito po yung tama ng tanong po ninyo kasi you also have to consider the developmental age of the students. Okay? Next, from Tessa Guerrero Strebel. Okay. What advice can we give parents who work from home so they can best support their children's learning? The best advice you can give to the parents working from home is to just support their child. Support, ang simple po ng word na support, no? Pero marami po yung kaakibat. Support in such a way that pwedeng ang support mo maibibigay through technology assistance. Kunwari may online learning siya, tapos nandiyan ka sa tabi niya, kung may problema, tutulong ka. Okay? But yun nga pala, ang tanong dito is working from home. Okay? Since actually your physical presence, the fact that you're there, and the student and your child knows that he or she can go to you anytime. Okay? That's the beauty of working from home. You're available to your children anytime already. Okay? So, yun lang, suporta na po yun. Okay? Malaking suporta na, there's a positive effect to the students already knowing that their parents are there for them, supporting them. Okay? Next, galing kay Rose Bell. Okay. How can we encourage the learners to take part in the discussion if they have a chaotic home environment? I feel you, okay? Hindi po natin, we cannot deny the fact that there are families who are unstable in their homes, okay? Pero ano kaya yung chaos dito, no? Magulo? Or chaos in such a way na yung family dynamics, hindi yung relationships in the family dynamics hindi maayos, okay? Pag ganito, okay, hindi kasi klaro yung chaotic. Anyway, sige. Punta mo tayo sa chaotic, magulo sa bahay, magulo physically, okay? So, kung magulo physically, at wala ng space, pwede naman po tayong mag-set aside ng maliit lang na na space, okay? Sa bahay, corner. Maglagay lang po tayo doon ng table and chair. Okay. Yun po yung dedicated space niya. Okay? Pupunta po siya doon kapag time na mag-aral. Okay? When it comes naman to the chaos in terms of relationships, okay? Alam nyo, teachers can only do so much. Okay? The most we can do, okay, is talk to the parents or talk to the adults, assisting the student, okay, and telling them that the instability, the unstable environment in the house will affect the child, okay? Yun po. Kasi hindi naman po natin pwedeng ayusin. Hindi naman kung may away sa bahay nila, hindi naman po natin sila pwedeng pagbatiin kasi we are not in the position to do that. Okay? The most we can do is make the parents or the adults realize that whatever home environment they have, it will definitely have an effect in the student engagement or in the learning environment of the student. Okay? Next, galing kay Ayla Sor Navasca. Okay. Hello. How are we going to deal with parents who are pessimistic about the new normal situation of classes? Ito po ba yung mga nega? Tama po? O yung mga, hindi yan mag-prosper kasi bago yan, ganyan? Ito po ba yon? Okay. Again, I mentioned the power of communication to parents, okay? We have, as schools, as teachers, as administrators, it is our responsibility to assuage, ano bang Tagalog ng assuage? Pakalmahin ang fears, ang takot ng mga parents dito sa online mode of learning. I'm sure maraming mga ganyan. Kasi hindi pa to tried and tested, di po ba? First time po natin lahat. And the only way to address the pessimism of the parents is really to communicate to them that ito po ang aming gagamiting learning management system, ito po ang magiging schedule namin, ito po ang subject namin per day, ito po yung oras ng English, Math, Science, Filipino namin, ganyan. You have to make the parents in the loop. Because once they know, once they are aware of what's happening in the school, their pessimism will become optimism. So yun po yung challenge sa atin. Let the pessimistic parents become optimistic. Okay? Through communication. Okay? Next. From Aizel Omega. Good afternoon, ma'am. Partner po ang parents ngayon, pero hindi po makikinig ang anak nila dahil sasabihin ng anak nila na hindi naman sila teacher. Paano po yon? Ayan na. Tama po, no? Tama, we are partners now, pero yung anak naman nila, hindi nakikinig. Tama, hindi nakikinig sa mga magulang dahil sasabihin ng anak, hindi naman sila teacher. Paano po yon? Ayan na. Ito na po, nagbabackfire na po sa ating mga magulang. Kasi ang ginagamit nating panakot sa ating mga anak, sige, pag hindi mo ginawa ang assignment mo, tatawagan ko si teacher. Isusumbong kita kay teacher, hindi mo patapos yung paper mo. Ayan, natuloy. Okay. So how, natatawa tuloy ako. So how are we going to deal with this? Diba? Okay. During the parent orientation, okay? Hindi pala parent orientation, students orientation, because I am sure and you have, and schools must have students orientation, okay? Doon sa students orientation, you have to stress the role now of parents in this online mode of learning, okay? Na sila po ang magiging mata, na parents po ang magiging mata ng teachers sa bahay. Kasi ang teachers, ang makikita lang, lahat po ng pag-synchronous mode, o ibig sabihin sabay-sabay kayo nag-aaral, ang makita lang po niya yung picture o yung mukha ng mga estudyante doon sa kanyang screen. Hindi po niya nakikita kung ano ang binabasa, kung ano ang ginagawa ng estudyante. And who can do that? The parents or the adults at home. Okay? So doon sa students orientation and parents orientation, you have to really stress the strong partnership now of parents and school. Okay? At sa parents, okay, ayan na. Please, wag na po nating gamiting panakot ang teachers ng ating mga anak kasi nagba-backfire po sa atin. Okay? Baka ngayong iba po dyan, ang naisip na solusyon sige magpa-print ako ng tarpaulin ng picture ng teacher, ipapaskill ko doon sa corner kung saan siya nag-aaral para panakot talaga, no? Huwag po, hindi po yun magandang solusyon. Okay? Next, how can we encourage the parents to take part? Galing kay Bianca Pineda. How can we encourage the parents to take part of their role in home if they lack knowledge to teach their child? Ayan. Yung tanong niya, paano nga naman ituro, di ba? Ng mga magulang ang mga lessons o konsepto kung hindi siya marunong magturo. Okay? Ang sinasabi naman dito, ang pagtuturo sa magulang, hindi mo kailangan maging licensed teacher. Okay? Again, I will go back to my first seminar, yung prequel nitong webinar series na to, na unang-una doon sa isang framework doon, the parent leadership model, unang-una doon, the first step in the parent leadership model is parents as teachers. Lahat po ng magulang naging teacher na po sa paanong pamamaraan. Tayo po ang unang nagturo sa ating mga anak sa konsepto ng alpabeto. English po yun. Pagbibilang, math concept po yun. Okay? So we as parents should not undermine our capacity to teach our children just because we are not licensed teachers. Okay? Tutulungan naman din po tayo ng ating mga guro sa, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, pagbibigay ng online videos for topics that are really complicated. And of course, since online mode of learning, I am sure that teachers will be very available to collaborate, to communicate with you, to assist you, okay? And to have consultation with parents para i-assist nila. Kasi hindi naman lahat po, kunwari, ang online class will be from 8 to 3. Ang schedule ng bata is 8 to 3. Hindi naman po lahat yon puro online or synchronous. Marami pong oras dyan ang asynchronous. Yung ginagawa po yung mga tasks offline. Okay? So during that offline time, next, last question, sabi po. Galing kay teacher's account ulit. Students are not fond of asking questions, okay, and clarifying concepts, even though they were not able to truly understand the lesson presented. We all know that we need them to be motivated to ask and clarify, but still they resort on keeping to themselves, okay. How can I encourage them to ask questions and clarify the concepts they have heard? Alam niyo po, itong tanong na ito, nasagot po ito ng isang webinar, okay, kay Teacher Thea. I think her webinar was last week. she mentioned about community of inquiry. Okay? Na kailangan po para ma-encourage na magtanong ang mga estudyante, we have to have that culture, okay, of asking questions. We have to foster that culture of asking questions. Kasi hindi po natin i-expect kaagad magtanong ang mga estudyante kung ang experience sila sa mga teachers eh hindi encouraging, not open to answering questions. So we cannot have that culture of questions clarifying things or that culture of asking questions kapag hindi po yun na foster umpisa pa lang. Okay? So kailangan po para magkaroon po tayo ng engaged students from the start, we have to make them feel that it's okay to ask questions. It's okay if we have differing opinions, and you will not be judged if you have a different opinion from mine. Okay? Though that difference in opinion is a point of discussion already. And when you discuss, you are already engaging the students. Okay? Dali po. Check ko lang. Baka may pahabol na tanong. Ayan. Wala na daw po. Maraming salamat po muli sa panonood o pakikinig ng aking webinar ngayon. Manood po kayo sa mga susunod na webinars ng Rex Bookstore at ng UP College of Education. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe and healthy always. Thank you.